Welcome back to Social Security and You. Let's talk about how your marital status affects your decision of how and when to claim Social Security. But here's a few important facts first. Women tend to live longer than men. That means they tend to spend more years in retirement. Unfortunately, since they tend to earn less money over their lifetime, often because they're taking time out of the workforce to care for kids or elderly family members, their savings tend to be less, their Social Security benefits tend to be less, and they have to make them stretch over a longer period of time. Women are also most likely to end their final years alone due to widowhood, divorce, or increasingly the fact that a lot of women simply don't get married. So consequently, more women rely heavily on Social Security than men. In fact, more than half of all Social Security beneficiaries are women, and when we get to the oldest ages of 85 plus, 2/3 of all Social Security beneficiaries are women. You can collect Social Security benefits in a variety of ways. If you've earned your minimum of 40 credits, you may collect as a retiree on your own work record. If you become disabled, you're unable to work, you may qualify for Social Security disability benefits. If you don't have enough work credits on your own, but you're married to someone who is, or in some cases, divorced from someone who's entitled, you may be able to claim benefits as a spouse. And if you lose your spouse, you may be able to claim survivor benefits. Let's start with singles. I'm defining singles as those people who were not married, or if you were married, you were divorced before 10 years. And that's because Social Security defines an eligible divorced spouse as someone who has been married at least 10 years, divorced, and currently single. But if you meet the definition of single, your decision of when to claim Social Security is pretty straightforward. It's based on your average lifetime earnings and the age when you choose to claim. If you claim benefits early, they will be reduced. If you wait till your full retirement age, you get your full benefit. Now, here's the tough choice for singles. Should you delay up until age 70? Yes, it is true, you will get a bigger benefit. And if that is going to make a big difference in your retirement income plan, that may be the right decision for you. But if you have health concerns or if longevity doesn't run in your family, you may want to claim benefits at your full retirement age and bank the difference because, frankly, if you die before collecting Social Security, there's no survivor to get your benefit. Let's talk about married couples. Now, they have a lot of options. In most cases, it makes sense for the higher earning spouse to wait as long as possible up until age 70 to claim benefits. We've talked about this, biggest retirement benefit possible, and possibly creating the larger survivor benefit. Having said that, the lower earning spouse, the spouse with the smaller Social Security benefit, may want to go ahead and claim benefits at 62 if she is not working, because we always have to worry about those earnings restrictions, or at full retirement age if she is. The idea is to bring some income into the households, and it takes a bit of the sting away of having the other spouse wait up until 70. And here's one of the great secrets that most people don't understand. Even though the spouse who claims benefits early, her retirement benefits would be permanently reduced because she claimed them early, it will have no impact on her survivor benefits if she is at least full retirement age when she collects them. So in theory, she could collect her reduced retirement benefits as early as age 62 and up to the time she becomes a widow. And if she is at least full retirement age at the time, those survivor benefits are going to be worth 100% of what her late husband was collecting if he was already collecting benefits, or entitled to collect when he died if he had not yet claimed them. So retirement benefits, survivor benefits are two different pots of money. And this is the most important concept for married couples to understand. The other thing is, how do you figure out how much you get? I'm going to do a little basic math with you. We have a husband, we have a wife. Let's assume the husband's full retirement age benefit is $3,000 a month. In theory, if he has a stay-at-home wife who has never earned her own benefits, at full retirement age, once he claims, she would be entitled to a spousal benefit. A spousal benefit is worth half of his full retirement age benefit, or $1,500 a month in this case. Now let's assume maybe she has her own benefit. It's $1,000 a month. Same thing's going to apply. The spousal benefit is bigger than her own benefit. Once he claims, and she claims her benefit, she's going to get the larger of the two amount, the equivalent of the spousal benefit. She's actually getting $1,000 on her own record, plus the excess difference, an extra $500 to bring it up to $1,500 a month. But what if you're a more typical dual income couple, and the wife in this case has her own benefit of $2,000 a month? That's larger than the spousal benefit. And in this case, she's only going to get her own retirement benefit, and that spousal benefit's going to go to waste, essentially. That's one of the reasons I have been on this mission this last decade to teach people about claiming Social Security benefits. Because in the case of these dual income couples, we are both paying into the system. But in many cases, that second spouse is not getting that spousal benefit out. So that's one of the reasons you want to be aware of spousal benefits, survivor benefits. How do I maximize this investment we have all made in Social Security? Now, if I'm one of those spouses who is not entitled to my own Social Security benefit, I will get one as a spouse once my husband claims. So maybe in that case of this couple, that husband does not want to wait until age 70 to collect the biggest benefit possible, because it also means his wife has to wait until he claims to trigger a benefit for her. That may not be the best move for them. And keep in mind, the maximum spousal benefit is if I claim it as my full retirement age. Maybe my husband claimed reduced benefits early, or maybe he waited till 70 to claim them. But my spousal benefit while he is alive is still based on half of his full retirement age benefit. Once he dies and I step up to this survivor benefit, I'm going to get 100% of what he was collecting, including any delayed retirement credits, and my smaller retirement benefit will go away. The goal of most married couples should be, how do I maximize the survivor benefit? So to keep in mind, spousal benefits while your spouse is alive are worth 50% of his full retirement age amount. A survivor benefit after his death is worth 100% of what he was collecting, including any delayed retirement credits. Survivor benefits are a little different in that they're available as early as age 60 rather than 62, but they're worth less. If I needed to collect benefits early at 60, I would only get 71.5% of my late husband's benefit, as opposed to 100% if I waited to my full retirement age. And it's a sliding scale in between. So the big surprising rule, to reiterate for couples, is even if I collect my own reduced retirement benefit early and my retirement benefit is permanently reduced, it will have no impact on my survivor benefit, as long as I'm at least full retirement age at the time. Now, this is my favorite part of the Social Security rules for divorced spouses. Now, this doesn't apply to me personally. I've been married 45 years, but I have two very good girlfriends who were each married 9.5 years. And apparently their divorce attorney didn't know or didn't tell them that you have to be married 10 years to be able to collect on your ex. So if you remember nothing else from my presentation, remember this: there must be at least a decade between I do and I don't. If your marriage is falling apart in years 8 and 9, string out the paperwork. The only dates that matter are the day you were married and the date of your final divorce decree. You're 1 day short and you will get squat. So there's the basic rule. You must be married at least 10 years before you get divorced, and to be able to collect on a living ex, you must be currently single. Maybe he got remarried, doesn't matter. But if you're currently single and your benefit as a spouse is larger than your own benefit, you can collect on your ex to get the larger benefit amount. Now, you might have had a nasty divorce situation, which sometimes happens. I mentioned that for currently married couples, if I'm not entitled to my own benefit, I'll get a spousal benefit once my husband or my wife claims. But picture a nasty divorce and one ex-husband, ex-spouse says to the other, I am never going to retire and you are never going to get a dime of my Social Security benefits. Well, Congress thought that might be a problem. So among the 2,700 rules that govern your Social Security benefits, there's a lot of exceptions, and a lot of the exceptions apply to divorce. So here's another of them. In addition to being married at least 10 years, divorced, and currently single, if you have been divorced for 2 years and each of you are at least 62 years old, meaning you're eligible for Social Security, you can collect on your ex even if your ex has not yet claimed. That is known as being an independently entitled spouse. And guess what? He doesn't even need to know about it. You do this all through the Social Security Administration. You give them your paperwork. I was married on such and such a date. I was divorced on such and such a date. They will take care of the rest. If you are collecting as a spouse, it does not take away from your former spouse's benefit. If he or she has remarried, it does not take away from its new family's benefits. I'm going to give you an example in a minute that will make your head spin. We have a couple, John and Mary. They're married for 10 years. They get divorced. Mary remains single. John then marries his secretary, Susie. It's an old story. They're married for 10 years. They get divorced. Susie remains single. John's one of those guys, doesn't really like to be alone. He goes to the local pub and he meets Tiffany. Tiffany's 30 years old. They fall madly in love. They get married, and now they have a little 2-year-old, little Johnny. Then Big John drops dead. Who gets benefits? Everybody gets benefits. The first ex-wife, married at least 10 years, divorced and currently single, does not have to share. She gets 100% of John's survivor benefit. So does the second ex-wife, married at least 10 years and currently single, also gets 100% of John's survivor benefits. That's 200 so far. And in fact, Mary and Susie both could have waited till age 60 and remarried and still collect survivor benefits, even if they're married to somebody else at the time. Now we got little Johnny. He's 2 years old. He'll get 75% of Dad's benefits every single month until he turns 18. And then there's Tiffany. She's 30-something now. She'll get 75% of John's benefits every single month until little Johnny turns 16. So if you're worried about Social Security running out of money, less to do with trust funds, whole lot to do with divorce. Survivors can switch benefits. This is a very important concept for widows, widowers, and eligible divorced spouses. If you're entitled to your own retirement benefit and you are also a survivor or a surviving ex-spouse, you may be able to claim one type of benefit first and switch to the other larger benefit later and do it in either order. I'm going to give you 2 examples. Let's say we have a young widow. She's 62, she's not working, and her husband's survivor benefit is bigger than her own. What should she do? In this case, she should probably collect her own reduced retirement benefit at 62. Yes, that benefit will be permanently reduced, but that's her retirement benefit. When she gets to her full retirement age, she can now switch to her full survivor benefit, and that's the amount she will collect for the rest of her life. Now let's turn it around. Maybe you have a business executive. He lost his wife to breast cancer. He's entitled to a survivor benefit, but it's much smaller than his own. What should he do? He should probably wait till his full retirement age, when survivor benefits are worth the maximum amount, and when earnings restrictions go away. He can keep working, collect survivor benefits, and it won't affect the amount he receives. But in the meantime, his own retirement benefits continue to grow by 8% a year. And at 70, he would switch to his maximum retirement benefit. Next, we're going to talk about surprising rules and exceptions. So stay tuned, and we will be right back.
Stay tuned for more Social Security and You with Mary Beth Franklin.